All right, welcome everybody to Power Hour. Apologies, I think I kicked actually all of y'all out. I pushed the wrong button on my side for a setting and I didn't set it back. When I came in and it said, "Do you want to end your other meeting?" I'm like, "What other meeting? That's weird. Yeah, heck yeah, let's kill that sucker." And that's when y'all had to log back in. Sorry about that. So welcome aboard. It is September 5th. We're on fire right now, team. This is really fun and very enjoyable to watch. So many people reaching out to so many other people and sharing some amazing news and opportunities about what we've got going on. So it's great to have you all here tonight. I see some new faces. So glad y'all are all here. Welcome aboard. All right, so for everybody that I think I've probably met everybody on here, but it's going to get to a point here where we're going to have to start doing introductions again because there's going to be a lot of new faces coming on. We're going to be scrolling through on this screen. It's going to be great. So where are we in the big scheme of things with the Jade Factory? We are in the middle of our Project Extreme Velocity. We are right in the middle of it. Today, by our calendar, was the first official day of having coffees. We've had people sitting down, having 27 minutes to talk to their friend about what they've been doing, and then jumping in and giving our story for 3 minutes, and then gauging to see if there's any interest, if there's any spark in your person's eye that, "Oh, that sounds good. That would be fun. I'd like to do something new. I'd like to have more health, more wealth, more time, more significance. I would like to have a statue erected in my name for all the people's lives that I've impacted. Heck yeah, tell me more." So that's where we're at in this cycle. Now, some people have not gotten as far along as they would like in scheduling these coffees. So let me give you a little bit of relax, settle down, take it easy, you're in a good spot, pep talk. If you haven't scheduled all of your coffees, you're okay. Okay, you can keep scheduling coffees. I'm not going to show up, grab your phone, put it on the ground, and step on it or anything like that. You're still good. Keep scheduling those coffees. Oh, I forgot about that person. I need to call them. Oh, they would be so good. I want to see what they're up to. This might be fun for them. Give them a phone call. But Casey, it's outside of the 2 days that you gave us to do. It's perfectly fine. Okay, so set those meetings up. Have those chats. Let me also reiterate the purpose and the outcome of what you're trying to achieve with these sit downs. Okay, I call them coffees just for a label. You don't have to have coffee. You can go for lunch. You can go for dinner. You can go to happy hour. You can have tea, whatever you want to do. Okay. The purpose of that is a 30-minute time. Well, what if I want to spend more time? You can do that too. Okay. But you ideally want to do a couple of things at this. You want to first make it about them. What are they up to? Don't make it about you. People are turned off by that when you start talking about you up front. But it's also weird if you don't tell them what you've got going on. That's why you've got 3 minutes for you, 27 minutes for them. Okay? It's not always going to flow just exactly that way. So that's why I want to make sure you know the outcome. The outcome that you want to achieve is you want to find out what they've got going on. So if you're taking notes and you're curious on how this is supposed to go, what do they have going on? That's the first thing. Get your story in a short amount of time. 4 steps. What's your background? What don't you like about it? The amazing thing that you found, and what your future looks like. Once that's done, you want to check with them. Step 3 of this is, does that blow your hair back? Does that tickle your fancy? Does that have any spark of life causing that to come out of you from what you just heard that I'm doing? I would love to have you in this thing. I know I haven't given you any details on it. I just want to see, do you have any interest? Do you have any desires in you? That's what you're shooting for. If there's a spark, cool. The next step, what you want to have happen next is you want to pass them to one of your leaders. You want them to get on a phone call with us in some form or fashion so we can do what's called an inoculation. Okay? It's like a flu shot. We want to inoculate them from themselves, from their past, from their history, from all of the baggage that they carry around with them on a daily basis. They are never going to say no to what we do. They're going to say no to what they've got in their head, in their baggage, in their old programming. They're going to say no to that. They're not going to say no to what we do. We have to help them through that. It is our job to overcome those fears, to overcome those objections that they have in their head. Your job is not to present to them. Your job is to get them to look at things through a different lens. I can see the negativity in your face, Joe. What are you shaking your head? No, well, I've done one of these things before. What do you mean? You don't even know what this is. Well, this sounds like something else from my past. Joe, did you ever burn yourself on a stove when you were growing up? Well, of course, everybody did. Joe, did you stop eating as a result of that? Well, no. You just learned that when it's hot, you don't touch it, right? You didn't give up forever. Another example, Joe, I can see a little negativity in your face there. What's going on? What did that trigger? Well, this sounds like one of those things. One of those things, Joe. What are you talking about? Well, I did that. Story. Past. Old experience. Joe, let me make this real simple, man. You remember that lady you used to date a long time ago? Yeah, I think you used the words batshit crazy in some form when you were talking about her. You remember her? Yeah. Did you swear off dating for the rest of your life, or do you just remember what you didn't like in relationships? Oh, okay. So here's the deal, man. You had a bad experience. You found out what you don't like. Don't pass up on something. The definition of poor is passing over opportunities repeatedly. Don't make that mistake. Get the information. Talk to my guy. I don't want to talk to your guy. Okay, well then let me get you in front of some information. We've got a PBR. What's that? It's a private business reception. Oh, really? Yeah, we've got a couple of them coming up. It's going to be the week of the 16th. We got a couple of them spread out around town. You live over here in the Sugar Land area. We've got one on Saturday. That might be a good one for you. You're over in Cypress. We have one on Monday the 16th for you. You live over near Lake Houston. We've got one in Atascocita for you. You live over in the Willowbrook area. We've got one in the Champions area. That'd be close to you. Why don't you come take a look at this thing? It'll be awesome. I might just do that. Well, I don't want to drive across town. Okay, hey, no problem. If you want to see it online, you want to see some information, I can send you a video. That'd be good. Let's do that. The next thing is to get them inoculated. Not everybody's going to follow that. Not everybody's going to want to do that. 99% of them will, but some of them aren't going to. If in doubt, tell them your story, see if there's interest, get in touch with us, we'll help you on the next step. That's the purpose of the coffee sit down. Make sure you guys are taking that action. Make sure you're pushing on that. Some of you have got about 10 of these set up. I'm very proud of you for doing that. I'm very proud of you guys setting those up. But I'm going to encourage you, it's about the numbers. There's a certain ratio that's going to happen on this thing. The more people that you sit down with right now, the power of what we're doing as a group, the power of the momentum that this is going to build on a macro level is insane. I've done this. I've engineered these before. They're so much fun. They're crazy. They're wild. All kinds of craziness happens. All kinds of good stuff's going to go down. There's going to be frustration. It's going to be life, all right? But it's going to be amazing, and there's going to be so many people that are going to come. That's why I'm encouraging you so much. That's why I'm repeating this so many times. I want to make sure everybody's crystal clear that now is the time, not 2 weeks from now, not a month from now. I'm busy now. I'll do it later. Reschedule some stuff. Get it in here as quick as you can. Get these steps in. Maybe you haven't even whispered to somebody yet. You know what? Call them up. Skip that whisper part. That's now in the past. It's time to get on the phone with them and say, I want to have coffee with you. And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly okay to happen. It's not weird to go have coffee with your friend. So make sure you're doing that effort. Put the effort in now. These 10 days from the 5th to the 15th, these 10 days is where you are going to do the work. On the 16th, when we start our PBRs, our private business receptions all around town, and we're going to be broadcasting these as well over the internet, all of these sessions, you don't have anything to do. You got to drive. You got to pick somebody up, put them in your car, and bring them to the thing. It's like Uber. You just show up, open the door, they get in, make sure they put their seatbelt on, drive them there. When they're done, put them back in the car, take them home. We do the rest. So the work that you're going to do, is you're going to sit there and ask your friend how they've been doing for 27 minutes and get them to talk. Is that hard? They're real good at talking about themselves, aren't they? In fact, Claire had a little sit down. I want to call on her. Claire, why don't you unmute yourself and share what happened today with what you've been doing?
Well, I reached out to a friend that I used to work with. I hadn't seen her in 16 years, so we had a lot of catching up to do. I was amazed with, when I did the whisper, how she replied right away, ready to check it, wanted to see what was going on. So I sent her a note early, I guess it was Tuesday, and we scheduled a meeting. We went to happy hour tonight. I didn't drink, I drank water. And sat there and just caught up. I listened. I kept telling myself, listen, just listen. So I was listening to her, and I was informing her, asked her about her family, asked her what she was doing now. She's not working right now. She's actually selling electricity, Casey, and do anything because she's not a salesperson. So she likes to travel, and I learned so much about her. I finally said, well, let me tell you what I've been up to, and because we hadn't talked. And I did my story, probably a little more than 3 minutes, but by the middle of it, she was like, her mouth was open, and she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I had to like, whoa, I'm not finished yet. No, I didn't do that, but I wanted to say that. But I just told her, I said, well, I'd like to let you see this. I said, I told her that we may be having some events. We're having events in a couple of weeks. And I am she goes, no, I'm there. I mean, she didn't even let me finish. It was just like, I'm there. I want to know what's going on. So it was pretty cool. And that was my first. So pretty exciting.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Who's fired up about that? I know I am. That's so great. That's great. Thank you, Claire, for sharing that. Folks, it's a conversation, and it's so funny. I remember the first time I did this, I got holy crap, this stuff works. It's so crazy. It's like, yeah, it freaking works. It's nuts. It's just it's just funny. It's just absolutely funny. But I'm super excited about that, Claire. That's great. Y'all are all going. You're going to be nervous. You're going to have this big old story built up in your head, and it's like, oh, what's going to happen? And you feel weird walking into the restaurant. You feel weird sitting down, and you start like doing stupid stuff with the silverware and the paper. You're just going crazy at that point. And then you just settle down. It's like, okay, I'm having a chat with my friend. And by putting it on them, you don't have to sit there and worry about being nervous. You don't have to worry about screwing up your lines. There are no lines. There's no presentation that you're doing. You're doing nothing except, hey, how you been? Sit there for a little bit. How's your family? Sit there for a little bit. You still work at such and such? Sit there for a little bit. Folks, if this is tough, I got nothing else for you. If this doesn't get you excited about how simple this business is, nothing will. So get out there. I know it's going to be a little weird. It's like riding a bike, except it's like learning how to walk again or something. I don't know. It's so easy to be able to do this. So don't make it weird. Make it about them. Get your story. You're not going to mess up your story because why? It's your story. The only thing that'll happen is you'll tell too much of your story, and that's okay. They've been talking for 20 minutes. You can go 6 minutes, okay? Try to keep it to 3. Let them do the 27. You'll get better as you do this. You're going to start getting more efficient, and it's going to just become like, man, I got this. But make sure you're not sitting there rehearsing your lines of your story when they're talking. Be present with them. Be intentional with them. Focus on their big things. Get the key message, not the details. You don't need to take notes, but get the main message of where their pain points are. That's what this is about. So great job, Claire. All right. I'm going to stop talking here for a second because I want to introduce our special guest speaker tonight. She has been on absolute fire with the business. You probably see her on Kiani Local every waking moment of the day when the sun is up and when the sun is down also. She has been blowing up the business. She has brought in so many customers. She has helped so many people with this product. She's building a great team. I've enjoyed working with her team. She is one of our absolute rock stars of our group. So I can't wait to hear what she has to share with us tonight. Help me welcome Miss Michella Marie. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I sure can. I know you told me that your internet's a little
Okay.
spotty. That's okay. We'll see how it goes, and we'll go from there.
Okay, if I freeze or anything, send me a message and I'll go to my truck and back out of the, I don't know.
Love it.
I'll go for a drive.
I love it. Take it away.
The first time. Okay, well, thank you so much, Casey. I really appreciate you, even just all that you do, all the time, the money, the energy, just everything that you just pour into us. And I thank you for allowing me to be able to pour into everybody the way that you do us. That just is, for me, that's huge. I think it's a total and complete honor. So I do thank you completely. I'm I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. This is not my forte at all. One-on-one is really good. Me in front of people, not so good. But we're gonna work through it. So I think probably me and David Daniel are gonna be neck and neck on our presentation. Who can do it the quickest? So I'm pretty sure I could probably beat him. Anyways, my name is Michella Marie. I'm a Jade in the Houston area, Springs specifically. I've been in Kiani for a little over 2 years, but was derailed by life shortly after joining. But I never gave up, and I knew that I would eventually get back on track and would continue on. And I just want to thank Claire too, Claire Rincon, for being so diligent about keeping in touch with me. So let that be the number one lesson: is if you are working with somebody, or just trying to just keep in touch with them. And that just, it really meant a lot to me when she would just send me a message and say, "Hey, thinking about you." And it really did. It just follow up with them, even if it's just a text. You don't have to call them. You don't have to keep bugging them, but just to know that you're still there, that really did. It meant the world to me. What I love most about Kiani is the testimonials, the people whose lives have been changed. I know it did mine. It has changed my life in more ways than one. And I am very, very thankful and grateful for a company that is so changing lives. I mean, bottom line, changing lives. One in particular is a business partner of mine, who was in such pain when I met her. She was suffering from severe depression and anxiety. She started taking the Triangle of Health, and immediately noticed that the fog had been lifted. She went through a detox period of a couple of weeks probably, but she knew that might happen. But she knew she was also feeling better. So she was able to stick with it and just kind of ride that out. But I'm telling you, it was a completely different person than who I met in my shop prior to taking the Triangle of Health. She was scheduled for depression treatments that was to last every day for 6 weeks. It was going to cost her about $2,000 out of her pocket. It wasn't covered by insurance, so she really couldn't afford it. But it was the only thing that helped her. So after she started taking the Kiani, she actually canceled her appointment for that treatment, and she was able to get off of her depression and anxiety medication that she had been on for over 25 years. So it's huge. This is something that most people are praying for, literally. She hadn't driven on a freeway in over 5 years, but after starting on Kiani, she was able to drive from Houston to Lubbock without a panic attack. And she called me and she told me that she was driving down in downtown Houston to Minute Maid Park with her daughter and her granddaughter. And so her anxiety was gone, basically gone. It is just, it's amazing what we have and what people are literally praying for. And I shared with her that in the morning before I wake up, I pray that God will bring people to me, bring them into my path that needs this. Because I know I was praying something. I didn't know it was a business. I didn't know it was Kyani, but it absolutely was an answer to my prayer. And but when I told her that, she just kind of looked at me. She looked at her friend, and she says, "You're not going to believe this." She says, "I was literally praying even 30 minutes ago for God to bring something to her that she could that she could afford, and that would actually help her." She was paying almost $400 a month in medication and supplements that weren't even working for her, but she was willing to stay diligent and keep on them because it was what the doctor was telling her to do. So she really took a leap of faith, and she tried this, and she still suffers from some ailments as far as health issues, but she's working through that. But her anxiety and her depression are gone. So that alone, I know for so many people this is the answer to what they're looking for. Okay, so anyways, all of that aside, I could go on and on and on because there are thousands and thousands of testimonials. In fact, I stayed up until 2 and 3 in the morning reading through all of the different testimonials and just writing everything down that it's helping. People are being helped with different things. So anyways, you all need to get on there. If you're brand new, definitely make it a point to go onto the wellness page and just read through all those different testimonials. It is just, it blows me away. But anyways, my topic today is about a video by Earl Nightingale called The Strangest Secret. It's a 30-day test that has helped me change my mindset and has helped me with my goal setting. I don't know about y'all, but goal setting was not taught to me in school. Or if it was, I either fell asleep in that class or I missed it. I'm not quite sure, but I don't remember it at all. So this was something totally, totally new to me. We need to know where we're going and how we're going to get there in life. A lot of people don't just stumble upon success or goodness. I read something today. It said, successful people didn't fall on top of the mountain. And that's the absolute truth. You have to be going there to get there. You have to have a plan. But everybody's idea, of success is different. Earl Nightingale's definition of success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal or goal. And that's the absolute success. I mean, when you have a goal and you're pushing toward it and you achieve it, you're successful. I don't care if you're a millionaire. I don't care if you're just, making 1,000. It doesn't matter. That is, if you are doing what you set out to do, you're successful in my mind. Someone who sets a predetermined goal and knows where he is going is a success. Think of a ship that's out that needs to reach a destination. It needs to be mapped out. It needs to be planned. It needs a captain to steer the boat in the right direction. The same way in our lives, we need to absolutely have that plan to know exactly where we're going and how we're going to get there. People with goals succeed because they know where they're going. Here is the key to success and the key to failure. Are you ready for it? You might want to write it down because it's pretty powerful. We become what we think about. Bottom line. We become what we think about. It's pretty simple, but it's so true. And it just, your mind is just, whatever you're telling yourself, that's what you're going to be. And wise men throughout the ages do agree on this very subject. They've disagreed on many, but this subject they do agree on. The Bible in Mark 9:23 says, all things are possible to him who believes. In Galatians 6:7, it says, as you sow, so shall you reap. Think of your mind as a garden and your thoughts as seeds. It doesn't matter whether you plant a good seed or a poisonous seed, it's going to grow either way. The soil doesn't matter. It doesn't care what kind of seed you sow. So his 30-day test consists of 4 different parts.
I think we might have temporarily lost her. She dropped such a big nugget there, it blew up the internet and probably knocked out her whole connection. We'll give her just a second to get back on here. That was so profound what she just said, by the way. The ground is fertile. It's gonna grow whatever you plant in it. Are you letting nonsense in, or are you putting good stuff in? That's so good. That's so good. There's so much stuff from Earl Nightingale on YouTube as well. We'll give her just another second on here. That was so good. Actually, while she's doing that, I wrote some notes. Did you hear what she said about what she stayed up till 2 or 3 in the morning? And I know it's not one time. And what's she doing in that time? She's going through wellness from the inside out. Why does she do that? She has put in over 170 plus people into wellness from the in. How did she get so many customers? Because she knows where to send them. And she's back. Take it away, Michella.
Yay, sorry.
No worries.
Not doing that on purpose. Okay, so his 30-day test consists of 4 different parts. So get a note card or a piece of paper, and you want to write down your goal. And it has to be a specific goal, not something willy-nilly. I mean, you just really need to set a goal. Then you need to read it first thing in the morning after you wake up, and in the evening before you go to sleep. Before your head hits the pillow, you need to do it. And even in between, but I have mine in my book, in a notebook. I have one in my Bible. I have one. I have them all over the place. So I'm constantly reading it throughout the day. You need to put. Hello, I'm back. Okay, so you need to put all of your negative thoughts out of your mind and only focus on the positive. Put away all negativity for 30 days. Act as though it's impossible to fail. So whatever you think, whatever you can imagine yourself doing, just think of it as there's no possibility for you to. And whatever you do it with all your heart. So whether you're working, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, whatever it is, with all your heart. And that's about it. So with that, I'm going to challenge everyone to do this 30-day challenge. We need to stretch our mind. We need to expand our dreams and our goals, and we need to pray a lot because people are actually praying for what we have. Pray that God will so that we can be a light to them. And that is it.
I love it. Thank you, Michella. That's so good. Some really good nuggets there, folks. Some really good nuggets. Everybody's
Thank you.
clapping. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Definitely look.
Absolutely.
There's probably, I know there is a link on that. Michelle, if you have that link to it, if you don't mind dropping that, let's do it in two spots. One here, and then also put it in Kionic,
Okay.
or put it out on the Jade Factory webpage. I think that'd be even better. It'll be more permanent there, and then people will be able to have that. So if you don't mind posting that or send it to me, and I'll put it out there, that'd be great. So, and
I can do that.
It's good stuff, folks. Y'all definitely check that out. Definitely continue down that pace. Set that habit. Set that new habit to be able to go after it. Mr. Jones, you got a question, sir?
I actually have a great statement. I have a great statement that what Michelle just said is that people are praying for this right now. And so we never know that God might be sending you to people to share this with them. God himself is not going to come down and say, hey, here's this great new product. God is giving you that access for you to simply say hi, wave, have a conversation, and be able to say, hey, I hear you're having that issue. Let me send you to somebody that can help you with that. You can be that vessel.
So true.
That's what you're here for. Just like I was talking with Miss Holly earlier, and she was telling me about her parents. One of them had cancer, and I said, "Hey, if you had the cure to cancer and you didn't share that with anybody, what would that make you be?" And she said, "Would make me be a good person." I said, "Bingo, you hit it on the head. This is why we ask you to just share with as many people as possible, because people are out there praying and begging for that right now. And that is literally our mission and our goal, is to impact the world, not just our community. And it's going to take all of us to bond together and do that mission together." That's all I got.
Well said. Well said. Great job, Michella. You're getting the Reverend fired up even. I love it. I love it. It's good. It's so good. And Mr. Jones nailed it. What we've got, keep yourself open to be that conduit. Don't go in with a preconceived notion of exactly how it's going to be. Just be present to the fact that you've got some good stuff that you can share, and then let the magic happen. Let the magic happen. I truly believe, down that same path of what Michelle was sharing and what David was sharing as well, is that when we try to classify and file and analyze and bring things in to make sense of it, we're always doing that. We're always categorizing things. We're always trying to figure out how we fit into the whole mix, how this fits with my reality, my perception of how things are. We're causing all of that to bend to what we've already done in our past. If you won't worry about that, if you'll just worry about having the conversation with the person and find out what they've got going on and let it go its direction. Like Claire was talking about her chat with her friend, she didn't know all these things were going to come up. And if she's the one that's pushing all the stuff out there, it breaks the magic. You can't get all the great, rich stuff that's going to come out of the other person. If you've got them all collapsed in where you know what they're going to say, that's the worst thing, because they're going to feel that and they're going to be in a little box and it's going to be a very boring interaction. And we got X number of seconds on this little orb that's spinning around the sun. You want to spin it knowing everything and exactly how it's all going to go in, I promise you no magic is going to happen in those scenarios. Just let it flow through you. That's so good. And wrapping up what I was saying when she was getting her internet reestablished is that she has so many customers. Why? Because she's had so many conversations. When she had all those conversations, how did she know to have those conversations when she was listening to them and they said something that, oh, I'm dealing with this, this, and this? If she hadn't gone in and had that information to be able to connect those dots, to be the curator of that information, then she could have missed out on some opportunities for somebody that was in her presence. I'm back. That was weird. I think we're both using Comcast. Okay. If she hadn't have had those conversations, somebody would have went through her life and walked right on by where she would have missed an opportunity to be able to connect them with the information, to be able to point to the right spot, to be able to have just the right thing to be able to share. We live in the world of information right now. It is not that we don't know how to do anything on the planet. Just go to YouTube. It's all out there. The issue is there's so much information. Your job is to be a curator of that information. I think I'm lagging out here pretty bad. Hopefully this is coming through okay. Okay, good. Thank you. The purpose of you to go through and look at wellness from the inside and out and staying up till 2:30 in the morning is that you're going to be the curator. You're going to be like that special librarian. Have you ever had, I don't even know if some of y'all even know what a library is. Some of y'all are kind of young. But if you've ever been in a library, there's a lot of books, okay? These books are things that you read. They got paper and all kinds of stuff for y'all that didn't know that. When you're in this library, there's so much information. It's how do I go find the specific piece of info that I need? If you've got a curator, AKA a librarian, that really knows their stuff, they can go point you to the exact book and the page that you need for the info that you're looking for. How do they know that? Because they ask questions to see what it is that you need. How is it Michella is able to do all that? Because she has gone in and she's got that information, and she might not be able to find it in 0.3 seconds, but in about a minute, she can do a little bit of searching and go find the one that she needed to be able to put that together. Why does she even do all that? Because if you didn't see her heart just then, she's in this to help people. That's what we do. The more people you help, the more people you serve, guess what? More cool things happen in your organization. So that was so great. I really appreciate you sharing that. Let's move on now. I want to do a couple quick announcements for you all that were present last week or have seen the event on the Jade Factory Facebook group. You'll know that Mr. Carl Taylor is going to be in the Dallas market starting tomorrow. And there's going to be a special event that he is doing at the Renaissance Hotel in Addison, Texas, just north of Dallas, formerly known as the Intercontinental Hotel. And he's going to be there. And then on Saturday, there's going to be a presentation at 10 o'clock. So if you have any guests that are in the Dallas market, please let me know. And hopefully we'll be able to get them to go take a look at what's going on, or they can meet up with me at that event. And then there'll be a training from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock. I'm going to be one of the guest trainers for that. And so if any of you have got any interest in making it out to that event, please look for the details on the Jade Factory Facebook group. All those details are there. Timing, location, addresses, all that good stuff. So take a look at that. Also, the PBRs, I mentioned this a little bit in my opening remarks for the private business reception. When you're at these coffees and you're getting them to the next step, you see the spark in their eyes like, yep, I got some interest. What you got going on? We've got a special couple events coming up. Oh yeah? What's it all about? Well, we're going to be able to meet some of the top people in the organization. They're absolutely crushing this thing. You can get all the information that you need. It's a very fun event. All these guys say, well, where's it at? Well, we've got a couple of them, and let me share these with you. I'm going to show them on the screen, and then we'll be posting these out onto Kayani Local. I think Miss Tara Bush might be able to push some magic buttons to get that out there in just a second. She did some amazing work on creating these flyers. So here we are for Monday, September 16th, the Cypress Private VIP event. Experience more exclusive sneak peek, Project Extreme Velocity impacting 200,000 lives, community networking creating. Monday, September 16th, doors open at 7. My address by invitation only. You can forward this on to people to give them the details so they have something that they can work with. Tuesday, we're going to be in Spring, Texas. This is going to be at Miss Kathy Harris's house. They didn't put these in order on my little screen. Wednesday is going to be West Houston. Miss Claire setting that one up. Thursday, we're going to be in Atascocita, the Humble area. Again, all these are going to get posted out so that you'll see these. You'll be able to write down all the dates. And then I will also add these to the event calendar on the Jade Factory Facebook group. So that's Thursday. And then Friday, Ms. Tara Bush at her location. She got a great business location for this on Friday. Her and Mr. Jones going to be hosting this one. It's going to be on Kirby. And then on Saturday out in Sugar Land at Michelle and Brian's house, going to have a great event there as well. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's going to be 6 events that they have a chance to get to. All of these will be broadcasted as long as we don't have any issues with the internet. So I'm going to let you all know it's technology, and sometimes the internet will do funny things like has happened tonight. So that's going to be a possibility, but we will have recordings. If they can't make that, we'll get them on webinars, all sorts of different items there. Okay, I think I got through all of my announcements. So any questions? I want to open it up for questions for anybody that might feel a little lost, a little overwhelmed. Casey, there's so much going on. I can't get my head wrapped around everything. I'm brand new, and y'all are talking all these acronyms and different things. I don't know what the heck's going on. Anybody have any questions about anything? Yes, Yaslin, how are you?
Thank you. Question. So, for example, I was like, I'm doing my schedules right for to get in visit them. Well, for me, it's phone calls because all my people are in the U.S. and I'm in here in Costa Rica. So, one of them, I was trying to get him like throughout this week, and he has so many things going on. He's not able to, and he just wanted to know like what is it. So should I wait till he's like more free to actually have a conversation with him over the phone, or should I just start sending a kind of like sharing what it is, or what would be like?
Good question. So let me give you guys the big pillars of what's trying to occur, and then you'll be able to figure out how to fall back in these other positions. The ultimate thing that we're trying to do is to find out what's going on with somebody, what they've got going on. Then we tell our story to gauge if there is interest, if it sparks something in them. Once that happens, the ideal, what I call the happy path, is we get them inoculated. We get them on the phone with somebody that can make sure that they don't say no to what they think is going on, but they'll actually be open to receive the information. That's ideal. Sometimes it doesn't work. They're busy. They don't want to do that. The next thing, and the absolute most crucial thing, is that we get them in front of the information. That's ultimately always what we're trying to do. This whole campaign, this whole setup, all of these conversations, finding out about people, building rapport, having the talks, all these things are to ultimately come to the major milestone, the choke point of this whole thing, them seeing the information. Show the plan, show the plan, show the plan. We always want them to see the plan. Now, when we have them see it, we'd like to increase the chances. That's why we build a rapport. That's why we find out what they've got going on. That's why we make it about them. Can you come in and carpet bomb somebody and just send them the presentation the very first thing before you say anything? Yes, absolutely. Track your numbers. Let me know how that works out for you. But ultimately, that's what we're doing. By us doing the Jade Factory process, it increases massively, multipliers. Not me guessing, me knowing. Massively increases the chances that somebody is going to join us and go impact some lives. So at a minimum, they got to see the presentation. Anything extra that you can get in there, we want that. So use your best judgment. Calculate in your head, as only human beings can do, with all the information and all the input and the inflection of their voice and all the history and the knowledge that you have of it and all the stuff that goes into this little computer of ours in our head and make the best call to be able to hit those main items. Does that make sense? Goslin, you good? Okay, good deal. Kathy, I saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, I just have a comment on just a helpful reminder, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, but on our PBRs, when we're having our PBRs and we're over at somebody's house, and might be the first time that we've been at their house or where they work or whatever, that's not the time to ask, where can I get a recipe for that great dish that you made at such and such, or can I or where did you buy that tablecloth at? Okay, that's not the time. We need to all be working with each other to help with our guests, and we used to do a really great job with that. But I know we've got some new people here that don't, they're new. Mm-hmm. They haven't been in a situation like that. So, if everybody could just grab guests, not, grab them, but just make, conversation with them and keep them happy so they don't leave if the person that invited them is tied up with somebody. We don't want people just leaving without getting, somebody to talk to.
No, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. And Kathy, you're giving me a great topic for next Thursday. I will go over PBR. And I'm glad you brought it up because I didn't have this in my radar right now thinking about it. And you're breaking a really good point. What I will do is I will give a little bit of some training on what we call PBR etiquette, what to do, what not to do. So that when you walk in, it's like, okay, I didn't mean to do that, didn't know any different. So I'll make sure that we have a good session on that next Thursday, which will be the Thursday before we get everything started up on that on that Monday, the 16th. So really good point, Kathy. I will take that, and you've just set my topic.
And everybody come to all of them.
Yeah, that's a good one. Here's the main thing about PBRs is that there's some markets that this is all they do week in and week out. I did this for years where we would do 3, sometimes 5 different events each week for a long time. It is a grind. So I don't want to hear anybody complaining that I can't believe we have 6 of these back to back. So this is the easiest thing that you'll ever be a part of. But I also know it's a little different than what everybody is used to in our group. Again, it's a special reason that we're doing it this way, as the whole team is doing this at the same time. And it's a powerful way to be able to get this in front of a lot of people. But here's the deal. The presentation needs you, okay? And you need the presentation. That's a real good term to use. So go to as many of those as you can. You're going to be able to recite it by the second one, by the third one for sure, by the fourth one, you're like, oh my goodness, is he going to say that joke again? Yes, we're going to say the same joke. You laugh at him every single time, okay? So 1 week, that's all we're asking of this. We don't have them very often at all, but with the whole team pushing these together, well, I don't want to drive all the way over there. Well, when you do have a guest that's in your backyard, you're going to want the people that are on the other side of town to come to the event that you're at, because a filled-in room is always a whole lot more exciting than if there's only 2 people there, okay? We'll still have it regardless, but I'm telling you, get as many people, and it needs you. It needs those bodies in the room, because that's going to get them to look around and go, man, this isn't just one person. There is a team here. This is a thing, and there's a unit here. There's an organization here. This is pretty wild, okay? It's very, very important. Very, very good points, Kathy. Any other questions from anybody on any topic related to Kayani?
I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
And this might be a silly question. So next week we have like the PBRs that are in person. But in any case, either because the person we were talking to, they're not in the Texas market or Houston market, sorry, or simply they're not in the US, we can still either reach out to any of the shooters, kind of like to have the to do the presentation, either Zoom or any other tool.
So the PBRs that we're going to have, all 6 of those, the plan is to have each one of those broadcast on a live Zoom. So it will be as if they are there. So just like a couple Fridays ago, I had an event at my house, and then when Miles was in town, we broadcasted that out to everybody. We're going to do that each of the nights. And so if you're not in the Houston market, how do you take advantage of this? You just find out which night they're available, and you get them plugged into that one. They don't care if it's in Cypress or if it's in Sugar Land or any of the outskirts suburbs of Houston. They don't care. They just need to be in front of their computer. Mm-hmm. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that helps. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. Other questions that I've had. Hey, Casey, I live down over here, and is it okay if I just zoom in on these? If I just get in on the Zoom? If you live in Houston and you are at all able to do it, I'd really appreciate it if you could make it out to the event in person. It just makes it better. That's all there is to it. The energy of another human being there. And here's the deal. Somebody could be there to hear your story. Well, I don't have a great story. You've got an experience with this. You've got a viewpoint in this that other people want to hear. And you won't know that unless you're there. Okay? And you being in the room, you don't understand how powerful that is. Just your presence. Just your presence alone. Now, if you can't make it, I get it. Everybody's got stuff going on. All right? No problem. But don't chicken out. Don't go, oh, last minute, I don't want to drive over there. Make it happen, because somebody else is going to do that for you. More questions? Anybody? Everybody's good? Get those numbers up. Also, let me say that, gentlemen, on not even in our organization specifically, but you know how I operate with the Jade Factory is that if I didn't have people that helped me out that I wasn't in their organization in my previous company, we wouldn't be here right now, plain and simple. And so I operate the Jade Factory as a big tent. Everybody's welcome to come in, see what we do. If they like it, they can stay. If they don't, they can go do something else. I'm good with it either way. But for the folks that are in on this, so important. Make sure you are reaching out to people. Gentlemen that's not in our organization sends me a message, 160 people that he reached out to. 150 of those are interested in hearing more. Do the work. Do the numbers. Reach out to people. Don't prejudge. Well, I've talked to them about this before. They know I've been doing this for a while. Those are stories that you're playing in your head. Go talk to them anyway. If they haven't said no to you in the last 60 to 90 days, go talk to them again. Are you still doing that Kyani thing? Is that what this is about? Dude, you have no idea what this is about. This is so different than anything we talked about before. Because it is. It absolutely is. The things that we have in place, we didn't have before. Therefore, it is different. That is a true, accurate statement. Well, that's semantics. Look, man, you want to help them or not? It's the truth. It's different. All right? All right. Last call for a question. Oh, we got a hand raised. Mr. Jones, what you got, sir?
So I was talking to Michella earlier, and we were having a conversation. I was like, you know what? Nobody gets mad when McDonald's has a commercial, right? How many times has McDonald's had a commercial on Big Mac? A lot. And you don't sit there in front of the TV and be like, oh, that damn McDonald's, I hate it when they play that McDonald's commercial. No, sometimes it's actually gotten you up off the couch and went to McDonald's and got a Big Mac. Although you know that's the last thing you need, but it got you. And that's no difference from what we're doing. So do not sell yourself short and let this up here keep you in a comfortable mindset, because that is what it is trying to do. What we have put in place what is the system of the system. I've been sending it out. It works. I got one guy literally just sent me a message back. Hey, David, thank you for this opportunity. He has no clue. I don't even know if I know this cat. He's just in my Facebook, and he got the message. I got like 2 or 3 people. I'm like, Tara, do you know who this person is? Nope. She wants to meet. Just like that. So please do it. It works. Okay? Believe in the system. Believe 1,000 times more than what you believe right now. This is it.
So good. He's so right. He's so right. Homework for everybody. It's late. Everybody's getting ready to go to bed probably. When you do, give yourselves a few moments. Visualize. It's so important to visualize. Michelle was talking about with the goals, and I want to encourage you all. Visualize the viewpoint of what your future looks like. How important is that to you? Focus on that for a second. What's that feeling like? I need you all to dream bigger. I need you to act more. I need you to stop playing small. The world is not served by you playing small. The limiting beliefs that you have, be conscious of those. Be aware of those. When they show up, and they will show up, be aware of it and choose to not go down that path with your next thought. Turn it back to what you desire, the impact you want to make, the feeling that you will have as you reach your goal. And take action that is commensurate with what your vision is. I can assure you, every single one of us can operate and execute and take more action than you have been. Even the ones of you that have been pushing the hardest, there's still some left in the tank. You decide how important it is for you to achieve your goals. And what are those? Ms. Sherry, what you got?
So I know there are a number of people that are Christians on the phone call, and one thing that really, in our church, we've been reading through the Bible and stuff, and came across a scripture that said that without vision the people perish. And it just, what you just said, just like really just smacked me in the middle of the head. It's like you have to, even the whole, first of all, the whole Bible just repeats, just in a different phraseology, what we say all the time. But I mean, if the children of Israel actually knew they were headed to the promised land, they got lost and took a whole bunch of long cuts and stuff, but they already had a vision in their head of where they're going, a land filled with milk and honey. The people know that, I mean, one of the reasons that people follow the Bible is because they have a vision of what heaven might be like. So it's totally commensurate with Christianity and believing that you have to have a vision. You have to be able to imagine where you're going. And I mean, you know, it's not going to be anywhere near as amazing as it is when you get, but my point is the vision thing is right on. It's right on.
Love it. Love it. I'm glad that triggered that. That's so good. So
Casey, I forgot the most important thing. The most important thing I forgot. I can't believe I forgot it. And I left it in my book. On the side of your paper or your notepad or whatever you write it on, you're supposed to write this down. It's Sermon on the Mount. It's Matthew 7:7. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives. He who seeks finds. And to him who knocks, the door will be opened.
Love it.
Most important.
Folks, I think we've said it 7 different ways tonight. Don't play small with your vision. It does not serve you. Play big. People need it. You will be that light for them, and that's how it duplicates. Y'all have a great night. Michella, thank you so much. You freaking rocked it. That was so cool. She didn't look nervous to me at all. She crushed it. It's so good. Y'all enjoy your coffee sit downs. Make it happy. If you got any questions, reach out to us. We will see you at the next one. Y'all have a good one. For y'all traveling to Dallas tomorrow, y'all be safe. We will talk to you soon. I'm going to mute the line so everybody can say good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good show.
Night.
Night.
Nice job, Michella.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Michella.
Great job, Michelle.
Thanks.
Crushed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kicking off.
Night, night, everybody.
Night night.